Did you experience bully?
How they tell you, if they bully me, who they bully? In a neighborhood like Mafuloko should be. Are you mad? Me and you go fight.
Eh?
For real.
I mean taller people.
Yeah.
People are blaming you for having a child.
When you're saying I'm not entitled to, who on earth does, who then be where they will call the talk waiting no be and waiting no be. Waiting go be and waiting no go be. You understand? Okay. 95% of every little person you see are product of average height parents. Papa, mama, then thought, then still, then bonus. You understand? So I should not continue my life because of one person say, hey, I know it's supposed born pikin. In what society?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, my boss. Thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, my name is Victor Uduchuku Mwog. So a lot of you might know me as Nkubi, and then a couple of you, of course, a lot of other people might know me as Small Stout.
Okay, Nkubi or Small Stars.
Yeah,
Those are very popular names.
those are names a lot of people know, more like nicknames,
Oh,
personality names. Let me put Nkubi is a personality name. Small Stout is more of a character name.
how did the name Nkubi? How did the name Small Stars originate?
Brashagi from Shaggy gave me the name. Usually, I'll start by saying that my story is not far fetched from the stories of every other individual. Okay. Mine might be slightly different because of the fact that I'm a little person. Okay, fine. I grew up like every other regular child, and growing up, it was fun. Yes, because growing up under the guidance of my parents, my amazing parents, it was fun, and it never, for obviously, never occurred to me that I was little. So, and of course, because of the fact that look, they provided me with all the resources I needed. They never gave me the impression that I look different from my siblings. They they disciplined me the same way they disciplined my siblings, every other person around me. So I was obviously made to take part in virtually all the chores in the house. You understand? I am everything that has to do with you raising a child. I was not given any fair treatment. I was treated the same way every other person was treated. So that is a basic. And then of course, growing up, of course, at some point you realize that look, you're different in a way. That is when that reality of okay, you look different starts, coming in. That's when it starts, reflecting. That's when I start having that thought. Okay, you look different. It did not occur to me to start asking my parents though that why am I different? I don't think I know. I ever asked them, and you know what I did not bother asking them. I felt I don't think I sincerely didn't see any need for me to start asking them why I looked different because one, they have played their role as parents. They're playing their role as parents to make sure they treat me well, they raise me well, they discipline me. So I sincerely did not lack any form of love. I never lacked love in my family. So for that reason, I never had reason to start asking them why am I different. You understand? Because I felt okay. The same way my parents have treated my siblings, that's the same way they treat me. So why do I need to start asking why am I different and all that? But of course, some point in my life, I the society obviously will consciously make you understand. Look, you're different, and of course, I knew I was a little person, and I did not bother asking the consequences that led to it. But I just knew, as growing up, I just knew I was different. That was just it.
So when the reality dawned on you that I'm different,
Mm.
what happened?
No, the reality, that's why I said the reality never really, it dawned, but at the same time, I never really had any impact. Reality dawned on me was seeking for a job after secondary school. One attempt I made in trying to get a job, it did not work, but because I was different. Then another attempt was, I eventually got to work anyway. Then another attempt was after my university education, two occasions when I tried getting a job, and it was clear that they did not want to give me that job because I was little. But eventually, I still eventually got a job. So even prior before I started working in the media, I got a job. You understand? That is to it goes as far as telling you that look, the same society we live in as much as you're different, it still does not mean it does not fit into that society. There are individuals that will accept you for who you are and also believe, look, in as much as you look this way, does not mean you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You understand? So a lot of other people understood the fact that, look, he's different, but that does not restrict him from not doing things, from not working, from not living his life, from not doing the same chores or the same kind of work this person and that person does. So if he's fit for that role, if you've tested him and he's fit for that role, well, you give him the job. So, and the few jobs I got before I eventually stepping into media, those were the things that were tried out, and I got those jobs, and I worked up until my my media job now came up.
Were you ever denied an opportunity because of your appearance?
Yeah, sure. The two occasions I mentioned after university were because of my appearance.
Why?
Well, the one major one is, look, after the first, they called for a general exam, and we went. And I know I did well in that test, and they shortlisted, and they said they were going to get back to us. So they said they now shortlisted and the list, and called some of us back, and these were the people that obviously passed the test. And so I came back. So while I was at the office, at the reception rather, I think one of the bosses came in, walked past, came back and asked me if I'm here for anything. I said yes, I'm actually here for the interview. He asked if I wrote the exam. I said yes, I did. And he left. Later came back and said sorry that I'm not the kind of person they are looking for. And of course, accepted it and left. In as much as for every individual, for every person that such reality will hit, of course you will feel a pain, irrespective of your height. You will definitely feel it because you've been denied of something you know you've earned. I keep referring to my life as a life of discipline, and the fact that, look, I was not sure to believe in myself. You understand? I was not sure to believe in myself. You understand? And because of the orientation, my back, anything I say here, and that has to do with my life, I always refer to my parents because they are the foundation of everything. It is the foundation that eventually defines what the future will become. Because they gave me that very solid foundation, then they gave me a very strong foundation. Every other phases I had to go through in life, I saw them as just phases. You understand? Walking up to a girl was nothing now.
Eh?
No, no, it was nothing. I knew I was different. I was part of you will say no or yes.
Wait.
Yeah, it's just that I mean, don't be stunned. It's a yes or no answer. Then you move on with your life. You understand?
When you were single,
Mm,
when you were single in the university,
mm.
did you have a girlfriend?
I never really got myself involved into anything relationship. I was not keen on relationship because I was actually more interested in this one at school. Let me face it out. Let me finish. You understand? Let me just do.
You didn't approach any girl
I never had the interest of approaching. I never really had that interest of approaching.
because of your height.
But not because of my height, because I was focused on education more. Because do you know why? Because I felt no, achieve the goal we want to achieve, what you carry come here. Women and ladies, girlfriend now secondary thing after that one will come, that one will take in position when that time comes. But this school, me, I got to go to this school, I got to see the end.
So you are one of the most confident people I've actually had conversations with. How did you instill that confidence in you?
Still referring you back to my background and the neighborhood where I grew up. My background, my parents, and the neighborhood where I grew up, Mafuluko Oshudi. I'll keep referring to these two areas. You understand? My Mafuluko Oshudi gave me a particular kind of confidence. You probably wouldn't get anywhere. That is for me. I'm not saying that people don't get confidence from me. Uh, in my own case, Mafuluko Oshudi gave me understanding of myself, made me understand more about myself, and because of how crazy the society is, the neighborhood is, it is not a neighborhood where you just accept reality and just give up. You know, some person yab you go yab and back, person fight you go fight and back, person talk to you anyhow you go talk to them back. You go see person, you go see big bros then people wey dey look up to they come out, they enter university, you will be inspired to go to the university. You go see say your man go take you, yab you finish, your mate dey carry first for neighborhood. They call names of people you know, maybe your guys and maybe your childhood friends. You'll be inspired to say, let me also see what this person is doing. And I moved around with people there. I moved around with people that were intelligent. I'll be sincere with you. People that are a lot, some of them were more intelligent than I was. Then growing up, I moved around with people that were intelligent. People I knew that look, this person no pass me. My age mate, so this person no pass me well. So and not because of that, but because I found friendship in him. And it turned out that even in that same friendship, he's even way more intelligent than I am, and I'm actually benefiting from it as well. You understand? So all these things, by the time you don't go through these roots and all these phases in life, that neighborhood, you will come out strong. You will come out with confidence.
No matter how confident somebody is, I believe there at some point might actually have been a moment of vulnerability. So
Okay, yeah.
have something actually happened that made you go back to your house and cry because of your height?
To tell you the truth, nothing have actually ever made me cry. The only thing that occurred to me was at that point when that job thing happened. That when I was not given that job, I felt bad though. I felt so disappointed. And you understand in the system, and for like the entire day, I was not just happy at all. You understand? Of course, which of course is normal for every individual. For like the follow the that for 2 3 days, I was not happy because of how the whole thing turned out, and that was just one very major this thing. Of course, there are other things that could cause you emotions, but it has nothing to do with this for me. You understand? Anything that is thrown at this, I'm actually very ready to face it. You understand? So that is how I've been able to live my life, and that's how I was raised. So
Did you experience bullying?
bullying and normal thing, and that's why I tell you, say for that same bully, you person bully you, give them back.
Oh,
Now they tell you, if they bully me, who they bully in a neighborhood like Mafuloko should be? Are you mad?
you know they are saying bullying.
No, me and you go fight.
Eh?
For real.
I mean taller people.
Yeah. Me and you go fight them out. See, there were a couple of situations where if you beat me, I go accept that you beat me. If I beat you, accept I beat you.
Have you beaten a taller person
I see
before?
with the fight. Which one be other don't beat? There's different scenarios. They happen now. They happen. So a particular case, a particular one I remembered was where I and my siblings were coming back from church. I think I was in primary school then. We were coming back from church. So my younger brother was ahead of me. I was behind. So I don't know. He had this particular confrontation with one little boy, one other boy like that is way taller than him. The boy was actually hawking plantain. So and when I came, I asked him, "Well, what happened?" You understand? I just nice still. What happened? What happened? Then the next night I saw the guy slapped me.
Oh,
Yeah. I damn the consequences. They don't care whether they come from church. I pushed the guy, kicked him. The guy fell. The plantain fell into the gutter. He came and lifted him up. Bam! Bravo, as a matter of fact. He held him his neck. It was one particular elder that came, elder that came that had had to separate us. A couple of things like that.
that means you were very strong.
If you say so, but at least people they beat me, they beat me. People who they beat them. You understand? So that is just the reality. That is the kind of society I lived in.
What motivated you to pursue education?
What motivated me was the fact that I looked at myself and I said, okay, for me to break out of whatever it is, for me to break out and you know find myself in a very suiting society, I have to first go to school. I felt education was just the main thing. Education was I said I just accepted that look, education has to be primary, it has to be a priority. Priority. You have to go to school. That was what I kept saying to myself. Because and one other thing that actually motivated me to tell you the truth, is the fact that, as I said earlier, neighborhood, when you come out of it's not a neighborhood such as Mafuluko Shudi, where you see your mates going to school, you're still behind. You never even make a right jam. Maybe your mate don't enter university, this one don't enter university. You'll be, and you're seeing big bros them coming back from university. Then that is when education was valued. Though not be this, a lot of this nonsense we they see in a way. The primary sector of education don't totally decline. Secondary education don't decline. A total rubbish right now. If university is not taking care of, universities at that verge of facing that same decline as we speak. You understand? So that is when education was still very strong. You say public school was the main thing. There was not how many private schools we get. There was nothing like private. Public school was the main way competition day. Secondary school was the main way competitions day. You go fail, you go read, you go no say you read. You understand? You see the uncles, I mean big bros come back from schools and you're inspired to go to school. Because you also want to fit into that same this thing. And you're not just going to school because you're inspired. You want to go to school because you want to have a better future. You understand? You want to have a proper future ahead of you. So those are all the things that actually motivated me. And I said, for me, for my nature, I have to go to school to just seal it up.
So what was the reception like when you went to school?
It was normal. University is made up of it's an institution where you have adults, so there's no kid there. Of course, I was just accepted like every other student that came in. Yeah, of course, there's that obvious difference, conspicuous. That's the word. You being very conspicuous in the midst of every other person.
People.
Yes, it was obvious that look, this guy looked different. He's just the little guy in our midst. Of course, it was very glaring. You understand? But that still did not stop the system from not moving on. It did not stop lecturers from not feeling you. You understand? If you probably didn't get your this thing right, you understand? On all those stuff. So nobody was giving any preferential treatment. You feel, you go accept it, you feel.
How did you go into the media?
The media, okay. The media came up as a result of while I was working, I was actually working with one company where I was serving as a supervisor, because usually our job has to do with field work. So I was, where I was when one of my colleague or little people called me and said that they have an interview. What he said was interview. There is an interview they want to go for the following day. For me, I felt it was one of those random interviews that media house will invite you for interview you and you go back home. I told him I was not interested. So for the first time in that guy's life, he yelled at me.
Oh,
This the same my little guy. This is my little guy that called me. This is my little person that called me. He yelled at me for the first time. We are friends. He has never yelled at me before. So he yelled at me for the first time. I need to just take a pause and listen to him. Because for him to have yelled the way he yelled, I said, this must be very serious. So okay, and I now promised to come. So the following day I went over there. In a large number, we all, went down to Cool FM. So and then while at Cool FM, that was when we were informed that look, they want to launch TV stations, 2 TV stations, School TV and Wazobia TV. You understand? And then they needed about some presenters, that the little people presenters, to come into the distance. So I said, okay, that is how it all started. That is how I got into media.
where there are disadvantages, there are also advantages. So, what were the advantage from the fact that once you appear, people like you are clearly visible? So, what was the advantage like?
Well, I sincerely don't like. I would like to be treated the same way every other person is being treated. I mean, when I come into a midst, for instance, I wouldn't want to, probably because of my age, or take advantage of, that particular situation. I would want to, okay, if this person is given, if I'm not qualified for something, I don't deserve it. So don't give it to me because on the ground that, look, you're being considerate. You, maybe because of my little size, you're probably trying to consider giving me such offer, or giving me such deal or anything. Give me my job on the basis that I deserved it, I worked for it, and I'm worth it. Not on the ground that no, give them because of saying a little person. No, I don't want that. So basically, I think it it is just the job for me that makes the statement. You understand? It's not as if I was taking advantage of anything. The job made the statement for me. You understand? And that was it.
What advice will you give to people, like maybe little people with low confidence?
Well, I think I'll still refer to your. Well, it is something you can still work on and build on. And if you did not get it from your foundation, it is not. It is never too late. It is something you can still work on and then build on. You need to start from somewhere. Just accept the fact that, look, this way you don't come, this way you don't come, this way you don't. As you be, nothing will change them. Accept the reality first that you are a little person. Don't give a damn about what people will say about you, because even if you exist till tomorrow, people will still say trash about you. Accept that reality that, look, people will say things. And in order to actually correct the same impression, do the things that people will see that will give them a reason to say, okay, this is different. Oh, wow, this is very special. Some things that will give you better recommendation. People that will, things that will give you better this thing. That will give you, how do I put it? Better
Commendation.
commendation. You understand? Yes, better commendation. You understand? That is what you should think of. I was slightly that stubborn type.
Oh,
Yeah, I was. I'm not completely stubborn, but I was. I'm that type of person that I'm that that type of person that would be asked to go to the church because I was born a Catholic. I grew up a Catholic. That will be asked to go for Block Rosary Crusade, and then you're brand to play ball, and then once you're coming back late in the night, looking all dirty, maybe calling out your sibling to ask him what happened in Block Rosary today, so that in case your mother asks you, you'll be able to inform your mother that these are the things that happened, so as to avoid being flogged. And there are cases when, of course, I've fallen into my mother's trap a couple of times, and I got beaten.
oh,
So, and why did I? Because I end up going to the street to play ball, joining my friends to go to one particular field somewhere to play ball or play table tennis. I mean, it was fun for me. It was fun.
what was your favorite sport?
Well, football, obviously.
When was the last time you played football?
The normal football we just dey play now. We just just a small this thing now.
How many years ago? The
I
last time you played?
no, not on a big this thing, but the normal small, like early this year, yeah.
And what team do you support?
Chelsea.
Ah.
Chelsea.
They support better club.
No, but it's 2 Champions League.
I'm actually an Arsenal fan.
Congratulations. Pray you guys win, sha.
Yes.
I'm actually rooting for you guys to win, because now don't so suffer. So, but for you, don't mind me asking, would you prefer the Champions League or the league?
The league.
Why?
Yes.
Now don't win league over time now.
No,
Champions League.
No, the league. The mockery don't too much. We're actually going to win the Champions
If I was
League.
an Arsenal fan, I would stick with the Champions League, because over time we've won the league. Champions League will be on record that you guys have won an European trophy.
Yeah, true. But if we actually don't win this league and come out second again,
You guys will just give
I can't even.
Now go try a third time now. Keep trying.
No, and the worst part, Pep is leaving this season, so I really want to make we win now for Pep.
It does not work that way. You guys had an opportunity to win last season. Liverpool came from behind to knock you guys out.
Injuries.
It does not work that way.
What do you do for fun?
Um, well, for now, to tell you the truth, I sincerely don't know what I do for fun anymore. I'm a family man. If I don't go out for my activities, I'm at home with my adorable daughter, my wife, obviously, my beautiful wife, and of course, I- the family alone is a job on its own. So, I mean, if my wife is busy with her activities, I'm busy chasing my daughter around. Don't go there, don't go there. Come out from there, move, move. Take her to bed, put her to sleep, a couple of other things. And if I'm less busy, I could probably be noting down something, an idea from my head, or be watching a film. So, I mean, that is just what I do at the moment.
What kind of a father will you say you are?
Well, that kind of a father that would that of course that will be so proud in the near future that that I raised my children well. You understand? Because I'm that father that the daughter truly loves. I'm that kind of father that would want to fit in, fill in the shoe that my own dad left. You understand? That my own dad left. Of course, my dad might not be perfect. No human is perfect. But of course, as human, there are areas where I want to adjust. So, so I'm that kind of father that would invest in my child and give her proper education. You understand? I mean, I'm that kind of father that will give listening ear to my children and say, okay, what is the problem? Are you okay? Find out about their emotions and everything about their needs and all that. Attend to what I can attend to. That kind of father that will be very close to my children and show them love and everything they truly deserve.
What was one thing fatherhood have taught you?
That's taught me love more. No, love. It has increased my distance for love. Yeah, love basically, and patience as well.
People are blaming you for having a child.
It's just a statement. It's people's opinion. Still does not choice. Oh my god! It still will not stop us from not having children. And let me now make it very clear. See, so a lot of people. This is it. The social media phase right now is a phase where people tends to drop what they feel is an opinion. And then to tell you the truth, look deep into those individuals. Those might not be sincere opinion coming from their mind, but just for the sake of social media, let me also drop my own comment so I can trigger reaction. People's opinion will stick with their opinions. And also ask yourself, these same individuals that are giving these opinions, a lot of them have not gone through realities of life. A lot of them are going through their own phases of life. A lot of them have not given birth. A lot of them don't know what the future holds for them. A lot of them don't know what they'll give birth to tomorrow. You understand? A lot of them will eventually accept reality when that reality hits them. So a lot of people are just speaking on the surface. They're just speaking on the surface just because they have not completely understood life. You understand? And this is it. When you're saying I'm not entitled to, who on earth does who then be where they will call a talk waiting no be and waiting no be. Waiting go be and waiting no go be. You understand? Okay. 95% of every little person you see are product of average height parents. Papa, mama, then thought, then still then bonus. You understand? So I should not continue my life because of one person say, hey, I know it's supposed born picking. In what society? You understand?
Yeah.
If in what society, and then another thing people need to also understand is this: that look, no matter what you try to do, or probably stop, if you try, no matter what you try to stop, little people. If, for instance, you try to stop little people from not having babies, you understand? It still will not it will not stop that continuity. It will never stop it because little people will still emerge from what from the same product of average height, from the same average height product even emerging. You understand? That's why I keep telling people that little dwarfism is as old as the origin of man. Nobody can trace when dwarfism started. And if dwarfism is classified as a genetic thing, what defines genetics? Genetics still it is still human nature. It is still attached to humans and well as well. So it comes from human. It has to do with transition. It has to do with this thing. And where are this transition from? From past generation, lads and lads, back. So what are we then saying? And prayer before now. See, Pro before now, if you go back to the eras, the old eras, take it back to the old Egyptian eras of about 3000 BC, 3500 BC. There were elements of little people in those societies. You understand? If you read up, there were elements of little people in those societies. Bring it down to the Roman era, bring it down to Greek era, bring it down to every era. There are elements of little people in these societies that lived their life. You understand? They all lived their life. They got married, they lived their life, and nothing stopped them from not existing. You understand? Then bring it down to Nigeria, the ancient Benin Kingdom. There were existence of little people in the Benin court. In the Benin court, there were existence of little people in the ancient Benin era. You understand? And they lived their life. They got married, they lived their life. So it's a continual thing. So for every society you find them, people will definitely talk. People will give opinion.
But when you read stuffs like that,
I don't get bothered at all.
Oh,
because do you know why I'm not bothered? If I was a complete novice, I knew nothing about myself, and I knew nothing about my history, I might react otherwise. I might be so pained. But because I've taken my time to understudy myself, understudy my nature, read through my nature, understand how the society were and the past up until now, and studied how I grew up, I say, wait, this is not be talk now. And I knew now, just talk and breeze go blow am, we go move on. See, it still will not stop me from not approaching a lady. If I want to approach another lady tomorrow, I say, I like you. You understand? You understand?
Yes.
This is a yes or no answer.
You are that
it
confident.
Still will not with the it still will not stop little people from not getting married tomorrow. They will still eventually get married to average height people, get married to whoever they want to get married, and still give birth. So the not giving birth now, when of course it is the giving birth to a little person is a 50-50. You either give birth to an average height child or a little person. I have quite a number of colleagues. Like Babake. Babake is he's married to an average height person. He has 5 children. Only one is a little person.
Oh.
4 average height sons. Only one is a little person out of his 5 children. I have 1 kilo. He has 3 children. He got married to another little person like him. He has 3 children. Only one is a little person. The other 2 are average height. So it cuts across. So those people got the tax make will not exist. It is just a statement, just a comment. Breeze go carry and go. That is where now that place is the right now there end though. It will not change notion. It will not change. It will not have any strong impact in the nearer future. It is not. It still will not stop the existence of little people from not continuing. It still will not stop little people from not getting married tomorrow. It still will not stop little people from not giving birth to either an average child or a little person tomorrow. And in years to come, it will continue.
So teach us, how do we become confident?
Everybody for your own know. Because what they drive you different from what they drive me. You understand? I'll just keep telling you. Accept yourself first. Accept your flaws first. So that if somebody they can't fight you using your flaws to fight you, you don't first accept and see now your flaws. So anybody they tell anything, you don't give a damn.
Dead on arrival.
Dead on arrival. Because already you don't accept them for your life. Say this thing, now one of my this thing, and you know go stop me from not chasing anything I want to chase. Anybody they come with them, just they wasting time. Just accept that if anybody coming with start impression, say you want to use it in tackle, they waste time because already you wait the something they affect. Don't accept and say they affect you, and you don't give up on you don't put them aside to say you are continuing with your life, and you don't see some improvement in your life, and one person won't take that and say you want to take you back. No, it does not work that way. Yeah. Move on, just continue your life. So that is what I will just keep it. Just be driven, have people around, be inspired, have role models, have people you say, this person they inspire me. You understand? Quite a lot of things.
What's the most valuable life lesson you've learned?
Valuable life lesson. Valuable life lesson. One, don't never in your life underrate an individual. Don't for once say they look down on somebody. Respect everybody's position. Respect everybody's this thing. Respect individual. Respect people. You understand? Don't ever say, this person no reach my level. Don't. Just respect everybody. Respect them, because that person with the respect, if you get one very tiny idea, we go offer you, we go serve as purpose for you. But in the first place, as humans, don't love. You understand? Appreciate everybody. So that's just what it is.
What was one life lesson that changed your life completely?
Life lesson that changed my life. Life lesson that changed my life. I don't know where I'm coming from with that question. No, sincerely don't know. But I just feel my life, I think, because I've accepted what I am and who I am, I think the progression about my life kicked off early. You understand? Understanding my life, and um, I mean, it's more like a transitional thing, because I've taken my time to understand myself and accept my reality, and because of that, everything that happens in my life comes with lessons, and accepting that reality that, look, you're different. You understand? So you learn from it. You pick up what you need to pick up, add it up to what you have, and all that.